Hello and welcome to Otten Math. In this edition of Otten Math, we're going to solve some practice problems which apply the remainder and factor theorems in polynomial long division and synthetic division. All right, so let's get started. I want to write the divisor, the dividend, the quotient, and the remainder represented by synthetic division. All right, so in this case, I have a -2 as my divisor. If I were to write it in long division form, it would be x plus 2. So here is my divisor. My dividend, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 terms. 10 is the constant. So I have 2x cubed plus x squared minus x plus 10. All right, and then my quotient is going to be 2, -5, or -3, and 5. So I have 2x squared minus 3x plus 5. And this represents the value that's left over as part of the synthetic process, which represents my quotient. And then finally I have a remainder of 0. So my remainder is going to be 0 divided by x plus 2. All right, moving on. Number 2 and 3, use long division to provide the sum and coefficients of the quotient. All right, so here we go. I've got x plus 3 as my divisor. My dividend is 2x squared minus x plus 5. I'm going to figure out what the quotient is, because the quotient is going to be the first term in the dividend divided by the first term in the divisor. So I end up with 2x. 2x times x gives me 2x squared. And I multiply this first term in the quotient through both terms in the divisor. So I get 2x squared plus 6x plus 0. And I subtract this value from the dividend. So I have 0x squared minus x minus 6x gives me minus 7x. Plus 5 minus 0 gives me plus 5. Now my next term in the quotient is going to be the value by which I multiply the first term of the divisor in order to get -7x. So it would be -7. So I multiply -7 times x, I get -7x. -7 times 3 gives me -21. And I'm left with -7x. Minus 7x gives me 0x. 5 minus 21, actually 5 minus 21 gives me a positive 26, and that's my remainder. So I have a quotient of 2x minus 7, and my remainder is going to be 26, the colon here, 26 over x plus 3. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and erase all this so we can do the second problem. So again, I set up my long division system. My divisor, x minus 5. My dividend is 2x squared minus 7x minus 15. 2x times x gives me 2x squared, so I have 2x squared minus 10x. I subtract the product of the first term of the quotient times the divisor, and I get 0x squared. Minus 7x minus 10x gives me 3x. 15 minus 0, minus 15 minus 0 gives me minus 15. So 2x, well, now I have times 3 halves, so 1.5. So it's going to be plus 1.5. Gives me, no, excuse me, 3, excuse me, it's going to be 3. So I have 3 times x gives me 3x, and then 3 times -5 gives me -15. So it looks like we're going to work out to have no remainder here. So 3 times x gives me 3x, 3 times -5 gives me -15. 3x minus 3x is 0. Minus 15 minus 15 gives me 0 as well. So my quotient is 2x plus 3. My remainder is going to be 0. All right, now let's do this process using synthetic division. So my divisor in synthetic division in this case is going to be -9. I set up my L here. And I'm going to write the coefficients of the dividend. It'll be 1, 8, and negative 9. So I bring down the 1, multiply it by negative 9, I have negative 9. I add these two values together, I have negative 1. Negative 9 times negative 1 is going to be 9. I add these two values together and I get 0. So my divisor is going to be x plus 9. My quotient is going to be x minus 1. And my dividend is going to be x squared plus 8x minus 9. I have no remainder. All right, let's erase this and try the second problem. I have a divisor of 1. I write my L. I write the coefficients of the dividend, 1, negative 6, and positive 10. I drop the 1 down, apply 1 times 1, I get 1. I add the two together, it's negative 5. 1 times negative 5 is going to be negative 5. And then I have 10 plus negative 5, negative 5 is my remainder. So x plus 9, I'm sorry, x minus 1 into x squared minus 6x plus 10 gives me x minus 5 with a remainder of negative 5 over x minus 1. Okay, last problem. I'm asked to find an expression for the missing dimension of the rectangle. The missing dimension is this question mark. I know the product of the width times the length is going to be equal to the area x squared plus 10x plus 21. So I can treat x plus 3 as my divisor, and I can treat x squared plus 10x plus 21 as my dividend. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use synthetic division because that's typically what most students don't know in this case. So I use the divisor as negative 3 in synthetic division. I write down my coefficients of 1 plus 10 plus 21. Drop the first term down 1. This is negative 3. 10 plus negative 3 is 7. Negative 3 times 7 is negative 21. My remainder is 0. So the expression is going to be x plus 7. That's going to be my quotient.